Have you ever felt stuck? Not because something is wrong, but because everything feels too comfortable. It's soft, it's warm, it's safe. And yet deep down, it's quietly stealing your energy, your fire, your passion for life. Comfort can be like a slow, invisible squeeze around your soul. Day after day, the same routine plays out. You wake up, go through the motions, and before you know it, weeks blur into months. You tell yourself, this is stability, this is peace. But is it really? Or is it just a well-decorated cage you've built for yourself? The truth is, comfort feels good in the moment, but it can slowly drain the spark that makes you alive. That little part of you that once dreamed bigger, reached higher, and wanted more, it begins to fade. And if you're not careful, one day you'll look back and realize it wasn't peace you were living in. It was a quiet surrender. The real danger of comfort is that it never knocks on your door and announces itself. It slips in quietly, like a thief in the night, stealing your hunger to grow, your urgency to move forward. And the scariest part, you don't even notice it happening. Think about it. How often do you reach for your phone the moment you feel bored or restless? One notification, one video, one endless scroll, and suddenly an hour is gone. These tiny distractions are like anesthesia for the soul. They numb the discomfort you should be feeling, the discomfort that would have pushed you to reflect, to act, to change. But here's the truth. If you avoid discomfort long enough, you also avoid the very moments that shape you. Growth doesn't live in the easy places. Self-discovery doesn't happen when you're endlessly entertained. So ask yourself, are you truly living or just distracting yourself from the silence inside? Because if you keep choosing comfort, one day you'll wake up and realize it didn't just keep you safe, it kept you small. There's an ancient line from Marcus Aurelius that I keep coming back to. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Think about that for a second. The very obstacle you're facing right now might be the exact thing you need to grow stronger. The great thinkers of the past, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they didn't run from challenges. They understood that the weight we carry is the forge that shapes us. They sought out the resistance because they knew without it, the mind softens, the spirit weakens. But today, most of us are trained to chase comfort. We call it safety. Yet safety without growth isn't really safe, it's stagnation. It's sitting still while life passes you by, watching others live boldly while you quietly fade. And deep inside, that stagnation turns into envy. You see others taking risks, failing, rising again, and you wonder why your own life feels so empty. The truth is, it's not luck they have, it's courage. And courage is built by walking straight into the things you'd rather avoid. That's where the real transformation happens. The ego is sneaky. It's that quiet voice in your head telling you, you're smart for not taking that risk. You're protecting what you have. But the truth, that's not wisdom. That's fear wearing a mask. Ego loves to convince you that staying in your comfort zone is a victory. Why try something new if there's a chance you might fail? It whispers. But every time you choose not to act, you're not protecting yourself, you're shrinking yourself. You're becoming a smaller version of who you could be. And here's the trap. The more you overthink, the less you move. You start living in your head instead of the real world. Your identity quietly shifts into someone safe, but deep down, unfulfilled. It's like building a fortress to keep danger out, only to realize you've locked yourself inside. Ask yourself, is your caution really about being smart, or is it about being scared? Because life doesn't reward the ones who never try. It rewards the ones who show up, even with shaking hands, and say, I'm willing to risk who I am for who I could become. Most people hear the word discipline and think of punishment, rules, restrictions, sacrifice. But real discipline, it's the purest form of self-love. It's saying, I care about my future self enough to do the hard thing today. Comfort whispers, relax, you've done enough. But comfort is a slow thief. It steals your strength, dulls your voice, and disconnects you from the person you're meant to be. One day you wake up and realize you've been coasting, not living. Epictetus, a man who was born a slave yet became one of the greatest philosophers, said true freedom begins in the mind. And freedom doesn't come from avoiding struggle. It comes from mastering yourself in the middle of it. Every time you choose discipline over ease, you're reclaiming a piece of your power. You're telling your mind, I decide who I become, not my comfort zone. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it, because you know growth lives on the other side of resistance. So ask yourself, are you letting comfort lead your life, or are you leading yourself through discipline? Your soul needs struggle. Your mind needs challenges. Your heart needs storms. Without them, you don't grow, you wither. It's like a muscle that never gets used. It might look fine on the outside, but inside it's weak. Comfort is a clever mask. It hides the restlessness bubbling under the surface, that feeling you get when you know there's more you're capable of, but you're too safe to reach for it. You scroll, you distract yourself, you stay busy, just so you don't have to face that truth. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, understood something powerful. Real strength isn't built by avoiding pain, it's forged by walking through it. The challenges you face aren't here to break you, they're here to reveal you. So the next time life hits you hard, don't just ask, why me? Ask, what is this shaping me into? Because the reality is, the people you admire didn't get there by dodging the hard parts. They got there because they faced them head on and kept going. Hardship isn't your enemy. It's the training ground for the person you're meant to become. The first step to breaking free is to call comfort what it really is, a thief. It doesn't just steal your time, it steals your life. And the worst part, it does it quietly so you barely notice until years have slipped away. That's why you have to face it head on. Sit with the silence you've been avoiding. Be alone without reaching for your phone. Let the stillness show you what's really going on inside. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also where the truth lies. And when envy shows up, don't just push it down. Look at it closely. It's not there to make you bitter. It's there to point you toward what your soul truly wants. Seneca once wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor strengthens the body." You wouldn't expect to build muscle without lifting weight, so why expect to build a stronger life without lifting the weight of challenge? Comfort will keep whispering, stay here. But if you're willing to push past it, to choose growth over ease, you'll find something far greater than safety. You'll find yourself. In the end, life gives you two paths. One is the slow death of comfort, easy, predictable, but hollow. The other is the uncertain road of challenge, harder, yes, but filled with growth, passion, and purpose. Fear will be there no matter which path you choose. That's normal. But fear should never be the one steering your life. Aristotle once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your thoughts are painted with comfort, your life will fade into the same dull shade. Don't mistake stillness for peace. Sometimes that calm you feel is really just a warning, a sign that you've stopped moving, stopped reaching, stopped becoming. True growth lives outside the walls of comfort. It's in the challenges that make your hands shake, the moments that test your patience, the risks that make your heart race. That's where your soul wakes up alive, raw, unshakable. So here's the question. Will you settle into the quiet decay of comfort, or will you choose to burn, to rise, and to become more than you are right now? The choice is yours, and it starts today.